It's amazing to me, and I don't know, since you've been traveling in the United States, if you've noticed a lack of prophetic understanding or insights coming from the Western Church. Is that the same in Jerusalem? Is there more of an emphasis on reading the prophetic literature and getting an idea of what God is doing through Israel and even through ISIS or others? Is there an emphasis of any of that over there?
Yes, Larry. In fact, that's why I am more sold than ever to make sure that we have a long-lasting presence in Jerusalem, which comes through our church campaign, which is called the Save the Jerusalem Church campaign. Yes, 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 Larry. They are hungry. They're searching. Their faith has been shaken. As of now, and I've said this in churches, Larry, I really see many Muslims are sort of coming to a Y in a road. And this Y is sort of a two option. Option one is to go towards the true root foundation of Islam, which in somewhat looks like ISIS as well. The opposite side of the Y is to disconnect themselves completely from Islam because of disagreements of some of the practical things it requires them to take out, which being, like I said, what ISIS is doing. Many Christians are having to go to this Y, having to make that choice. This is an opportunity to grab those that are taking the left towards the Y, and thankfully the majority are not choosing the ISIS philosophy. Okay. Thank God. If we did, then the world would be a lot more worse, Larry, than what we see right now. We multiply that by 1,000 degrees. So many are choosing the left, where they're slowly distancing themselves. They're not talking about it. In fact, they actually show more interest in other faiths. They're showing more interest in other philosophies and other ideologies because of disconnect and disgust with what they're seeing. And I'm more sold than ever, and I believe more than ever in our existence in Jerusalem, because it is the most influential city in the world. It is the most sought after city in the world. Wouldn't it just make sense for us right now to have presence in Jerusalem? And unfortunately, they're successful right now, unfortunately, and keeping us underground right now until we are able to have our own multi-purpose worship training center in Jerusalem.
And my listeners can pray for that, and they can actually get involved. And again, folks, you've got to go to holylandmissions.org. We don't have phone numbers to give out, so you've got to go through holylandmissions.org. I want to quote you again here, Stephen. You say this. You say, "The reason I covet your prayers is because I know accepting to do all that he wants me to do comes at a great price. Satan and those he uses will continue to attack us. So because of that, I need that covering of his grace and guidance to walk only in his wisdom. I am strengthened by all your emails, handwritten cards, gifts, etc., which you send to our work. It is sobering reminder to not stop serving him, and one of the greatest tangible ways to be told we are not forgotten. Thank you for being a family that cares." That's what you wrote online here very recently. And for that matter, you are even having conversations with the head of the Al-Aqsa Mosque, which, and folks, that's another thing, is my question I'm about to ask Stephen is how we can pray for him, but you're having conversations with the head of the Al-Aqsa Mosque. That's that big gold dome mosque in the heart of Jerusalem. My listeners can pray for you as you do that. Stephen, wind down. How can we pray for you in light of what you've written here, in light of what you're engaged in every day of the week, which most of my listeners can't begin to identify with?
You know, Jen, I do want to give a number people can call to pray.
Okay.
Thank you for asking. I didn't even think about it, but I do want to give an opportunity for people to call to stand and support and pray. 417-942-0392. Jan, this is an opportunity for us to understand that the Muslim world is hungry. I've had the opportunity to build a relationship with Al-Aqsa Mosque leader. He sees something in me that he doesn't see in his own faith. It's not because I'm just special to anybody else. I'm not. In fact, if it was somebody else besides me that met him, it would be the same experience. He sees Jesus in me. My last conversation was at 7:58 a.m. We spoke for about 45 minutes on the phone. And at the end, he said something, goes, "There's something different. What is it about you?" And I said, "Sheikh, my friend, it's not me. It's Jesus. You're attracted to Jesus Christ." And at the end of our conversation, I said, "Sheikh, I'm going to pray for you." Actually, I prayed with him right then and there. That was our third conversation over the phone. How did I meet him? I met him while speaking at the Knesset. They invited the religious Muslim leader, the head imam. They invited the rabbi, and they invited myself. And I spoke about Jesus. And I was the only one to give him a ride to the mosque. So he asked me about giving him a ride. He can't ask anybody else because he can't be seen with a Jew in a car. Sure. So I was the only one that was willing to give him a ride. And I tell people I actually chose the long routes over to the mosque so I can extend my drive to the mosque. I kid you not, I took the long routes around. And that's when I got to the head entrance of the mosque, I said, Sheikh, I as a Christian, the greatest thing I possess is a Bible. He said, Sheikh, can I give it to you? And he actually kissed the Bible and I gave it to him. And he looked at me, he said, I promise you, I will begin to look into this
Wonderful.
Bible. And now building a relationship. So we got to get our hands dirty. We got to start to live besides ourselves. The disciples of the apostles, Jan and Jill, Larry, the apostles of the First Church were willing to live a life beside themselves. This is a time to see that.